Can you talk about the reports about you having a discussion yesterday with Lamar?
No.
Please?
You really want me to?
Sure.
Okay. Lamar came in and we had a discussion. That's it. I'm not going to really give you more than that, honestly.
Is there interest on your part?
I've always had interest in him. I think I've stated that from day one. I've always liked him. The teams he's played on and the coaches who have coached him have always liked him. But honestly, it really didn't go much further than that. Good conversation. I hadn't seen him. I just wanted to see him.
Kind of where's he at? Did you gauge? I mean, in light of everything that's been going on.
Didn't really, honestly, I've heard that it's been reported about all that, but we didn't, it really was just wanted to see him physically and see how he was doing.
Yeah,
He looked good. He looked great. Yeah.
In terms of
He looked really good. He looked like his weight was way down and in good shape, but that doesn't mean a lot. But that was it.
So where did you leave it?
Great seeing you. But that was it for me. I mean, obviously, I do like him, and but right now it was more me just sitting down. I haven't had a chance since I've taken the job. We texted each other a couple times, but that was it. I just wanted to get in front of him.
Where would you say DeAndre is in the process of becoming a defensive first player, and what improvements are you still looking for?
Well, I think he's there, honestly, defensively. I think he's consistently being that every night. He's doing exactly what we've asked him to do every night. He's staying out of foul trouble for the most part every night, which has been great. His language, as far as his communication, has been off the charts. And it starts with that position, for us. And I think he's been terrific. I think he's gotten frustrated at times that everyone hasn't caught on like him at times, and that's something we tell him: you just keep doing your job, and everybody will follow suit. But he's been fantastic. He's had an impact in every game with his defense.
Any areas for growth still?
Well, I think more recognition still, but that's more team as much as him. Just being weak side alert is probably another thing, and for him closing out on shooters, which at the 5 you don't get that very often, but when you get it, you have to do it. So I think that's about it.
When a team's missing a bunch of guys that they usually play, is there a tendency to kind of take the foot off the gas, you think, from an opposing standpoint? And how do you kind of fight?
Well, not from a coach, I can tell you that.
From the guys, though.
I don't know. I mean, everybody. It could be from one guy. It can be from 2 guys. It can be from all 5. You just never know. I don't think a whole team comes in and say, "Hey, guys." No one says let's ease up. I can tell you that. At least no team I've ever been around. But that doesn't mean mentally it's not challenging. These games like tonight are very difficult. Because you have one team that are free and a bunch of pros, who want to show everybody that they should be playing, and they're going to play at an unbelievable clip as far as intensity. And then you have another team who thought they were playing other guys. And so it'll be interesting. They scare me. They always have as a coach. I've won a lot of them and I've lost them too, and they're just scary.
Hey, Stop, what do you think of Kevin's?
You don't manage. I mean, you manage it by what you see. It would be the same as if the other guys were playing. You'd manage it the same way. If you have 3 guys that wasn't playing well, you take them out and put someone else in. So you don't manage it any differently. You manage it with your eyes.
What do you think of Kevin's struggles right now? He hasn't gotten off to the usual start that he's.
I haven't noticed that he was struggling, to be honest. Just honestly, I haven't paid that much attention to them. I've watched a little bit. I don't think Kevin, in my opinion, came in here thinking he was going to score 20 points and all that. I think his value is far greater than that. And if you're looking at numbers, then you're looking at the wrong Garnett.
Do you feel weird Paul and Kevin was not on your team?
Well, it's different. I mean, I don't know if I feel weird, but it is different. I only had 9 years with Paul. That's when you have 9 years with one player and now you're not with that player. That's different, especially, just watching them is strange, but, they had a hell of a career before I coached them, and they'll have a hell of a career after me. You know, they're pretty fantastic people.
Doc, what's the relationship with you and Paul and Kevin been like since you left, since they left?
It hasn't changed much. I mean, we talk to each other a lot, text a lot. You know, hell, I think sometimes we contact each other more. You know, sometimes you feel like it because, you know, as a coach, I always, you know, especially in the off season, I try to avoid conversation with my players because they hear you for 9 months and they don't need to hear you. Now that you're not with them, you pick up a phone and you see something funny, you call them or they'll text you. So it's been fun. It's been like that with a lot of my guys, you know, Tony Allen and Perk. You know, it's been interesting in that way. You know, Mike Fratello had it right. You know, that's probably the best part of coaching is the afterlife of your players when you start having relationships with them. I think he's probably right on that one. That's the only thing he's right on, but he is right on that one.
Did you get a chance to sort of say goodbye to them before all this happened? I mean, I know there was some talk of all three of you guys ended up together.
Yeah,
right?
we did in our own way. Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's because I don't think any of us knew goodbye was coming. You know, it's not like at the end of the year, I walked up to him and said, you know, hey guys, I'm leaving or you're getting traded, because we didn't know, you know. But we've talked, yeah. So I don't know if we said goodbye because we haven't said goodbye. We don't need to, you know. We still talk a lot. So I hope I never have to say that.
Kevin was quoted as saying
that Paul isn't playing that, and that Kevin might not play, that you're not going to be able to coach against those guys. Is that a disappointment for you?
No, I don't know what it is, you know, but no. I mean, it'll be cool when we do that and all that, but those games are harder for me. I don't like it, you know, and I don't want to liken them too often, but it's similar. I was taught that last year. I thought it'd be really cool to coach against your son, and then in the middle of the game, I realized I didn't enjoy that. I didn't like that. You know, that was no fun for me. You know, when your son makes a basket, as a parent, you should be able to cheer. You know, and he made one big bucket, and I wanted to smack him. You know, and that's no fun. That's not right. So, not natural.
Kevin was quoted this week as saying he thought you guys would all end up here together. Did you think that was a possibility for a period of time? Or?
Yeah, I guess. You know, it was. I wish, you know, someday a book will be written about that whole thing. I couldn't be involved on either side. It was the damnedest thing. You know, and I don't think people got that. I was pulling zero strings. I was, the Clippers were negotiating and the Celtics, and I was sitting there like, well, you know, that's how you felt. You really did. So it was strange. And at times it looked like it, and at times it didn't. And there were times, honestly, I went by what was in the media. I was on the outs on that one.
Doc, Jason's talked a lot ever since you got the job about talking to you and getting some tips. What were the things you tried to impart on him?
Well, the first thing I told him is when we played, don't play any of your guys. And yeah, no, you know, just be you. Honestly, there's no perfect coaches in the world, and you're gonna make mistakes. And you know, if you just leave it as simple as every decision you make is for the good of the team, that doesn't mean you're still going to make the right decision, but you're thinking it's for the good of the team. If you're trying to keep that happy, you have a chance. But if you try to keep each individual happy, it's very difficult to do that. And Jason's a winner, and he's been coaching since he started playing basketball, in my opinion. That's how he played basketball. He was a thinking player, and he'll be very comfortable in this role as well.
Doc, there was a sense that group that you guys had in Boston might have somewhat run its course, right? They had gotten a little older, and you'd been there for a while. I mean, do you think you had another couple of years in that group?
I don't know, honestly. I thought we were close to the end, and Danny and I did talk about that a lot. And you know, we had to make some changes there. There was no doubt about that. Either by adding more guys to support them, because trying to carry a team at those ages are very hard, and expecting health at those ages are very hard. You know, Kevin had cut down at 25 last year minutes, so, and then you had to just try to pray that you can get them to the playoffs. You know, so it was close to being the right. I don't know what the right time is. Sometimes there is none. You just let it in the whole way. You know, let them go through it and retire. And some organizations do that, and some don't. And there's no right or wrong answer to that either way.
How difficult is it to to tell Garnett to rest? 'Cause
Oh, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, he's gotten better, going by what I hear. But at the beginning of it, it was, just ask one of the players in practice about subbing Kevin Garnett in practice. Just ask one on New Jersey, on Brooklyn. I guarantee you there's a MF story that'll follow. It got to the point where, I would tell one of the guys to, go get Kevin, and they would not go in, and then they'd come up to me, can you tell him? So that's a good thing in a lot of ways, but a bad thing at the same time.
Coach, for your experience, what is easier or more difficult? The adaptation of a new coach to a team that knows, that spends time together, or adaptation of new players to a new coach staff?
That's a great question. I don't think anyone's asked that, and I'm not sure which one is easier. That's a good one. I don't know the answer to it. A coach has to learn everybody, and the players just have to learn one. I guess you can look at it that way, but I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
How would you describe your adaptation to the Clippers?
I think, I'm learning them still, and I think they probably have a better understanding of me before I have it of them, would be my guess. I don't know that, but I'm still learning a lot of stuff about our guys, and hopefully that'll make me a better coach.
Thanks.
What do you miss most about coaching those two?
They're just so darn professional. I caught them at the perfect time, because they had no any other reason to play basketball but to win. They had already had a individual career, and so that made it very easy in my opinion, to coach them. They just every game was trying to figure out a way to win that game, and there was very little clutter. I use that word a lot with our guys, and that's what I liked. And Paul is a professional scorer. There's only a few of those in the league, and when you have one on your team, it's nice. He literally is a professional scorer. I don't know how he scores. He looks like he's going 1 mile an hour, and yet he's always open, and he always makes big shots, and that was nice to have. Made me a lot smarter.
Coach, you think you've caught Chris Paul at a similar time as you caught Paul and Kevin?
I hope so. I think so. I think Chris absolutely is at that point where it's about wins for him. But I think our young guys are there too. I think it takes some with younger guys because they're still trying to establish themselves. So it is a big difference than the older guys. But this group wants to win. I think last year when you win the amount of games you win and then didn't get sent home, and you realize how quickly people jump off you, I think that was a good lesson. Thanks, guys.